Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of A Conversation with Miss Lekesa Whitner, the Democratic candidate for Spartanburg County Council District 6. Siege, I see you. How's it
Listen,
going?
I'm going great. I hope all you guys are well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know this is an extremely important conversation that I'm definitely ready to dive into. Some history making going on, and just an important community piece that we need to be involved with all around. So you guys tune in, keep sharing it, and lock in. This is important. I'm excited to hear what this candidate has to say, and I'm excited to be here.
Right. It's a special election.
Right.
Voting starts March 23rd.
Right.
Actually, people can go tomorrow, starting tomorrow, casting their votes
Mhm.
down at the tax office, the county tax office, right across the street from Krispy Kreme. I know
Absolutely.
y'all know what Krispy Kreme is. So
So
make
you
sure.
six, make sure you are
Right.
take advantage and start early. And let's have a great turnout. Let's just show that this community is active. We're active, and that's what's important.
Oh, right, people. And so I'm gonna just read a little bit of Lekesa Whitner bio, and so y'all can get a feel for her. And then the next voice you will hear on the screen with us will be Lekesa Whitner herself. And so Miss Lekesa Whitner, in her position, her role as the supportive services manager for the Northside Development Group, serves as the community quarterback for all 1,800 families that reside on the North Side. As a long-term resident of Spartanburg, Lekesa has been both the changes and the economic development in the city. She has been part of both. Lekesa is currently the supportive services manager at Northside Development Group and is an adjunct professor at Spartanburg Community College. In her role at NDG, she provides financial literacy, home ownership skills, employment opportunities, and access to countless other resources to all of the 1,800 families that live on the North Side. Some of her recent accomplishments have been Community Volunteer of the Year in 2019 by ACHI Magazine, the Inclusion Advocate of the Year in 2019 by the Spartanburg Chamber of Commerce, now known as One Spartanburg Inc. Upstate Black History Maker 2019 by 107.3 Jams. Has received the Mary L. Thomas Award for Civic Leadership and Community Change. Community Activist of the Year nominee in 2019 for the Met Gala. Career Woman of the Year finalist in 2017 for Business and Professional Women of South Carolina, and a certificate of appreciation in 2012 from the Spartanburg County government. Uh, Without further ado, let's welcome Ms. Lekesa Whitner to the stage, the Democratic candidate for Spartanburg County Council District 6.
Virtually walk on up. There she go.
Hey, how you doing?
So hello. Thank you all for having me. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Terrence, for having me today. And thank you to everyone that is under the listening ear. It's such a joy to be here. There's one thing that's on my bio. I did not receive the Mary Thomas Award. I wish I had, but I was a candidate for the Mary L. Thomas Award. So hopefully Mary is listening and I'll be a recipient in the near future. So let's speak it into existence, Terrence.
Well, good evening to you, Miss Whitner. This is truly an honor. We are excited to have you on tonight. And our intention, guys, is not to hold you long at all. We just want to have a candid conversation, ask you a few questions, and let's just see what you have to say. And again, so guys, tune in. Let's stay locked in. Let's keep sharing. And Terrence, I'm handing it over to you because I'll get to talking. I'm ready to hear Miss Whitner.
And so today, our questions are in English and Spanish, and so we'll have both on the screen. I take pride in my relationship with our brothers and sisters in the Hispanic community. I serve on the board of the Hispanic Alliance, and they are truly a great group of allies. And I would like to welcome my Hispanic allies to this conversation as well. And so, starting off with the first question, Lekesa, tell us about yourself and the ways you have served the Spartanburg community.
Well, thank you for that question, Terrence. Again, the name is Lekesa Whitner, and I am running as the Democratic candidate for Spartanburg County Council District 6 because all voices need to be heard in county government. We must be willing to help all people through the lens of equity, equality, and empathy right now. A little bit about me. So I grew up in Spartanburg with my three sisters and my parents, Pauline Jones and the late Johnny Miller. We were raised in a town called Little Africa. Now, a lot of people don't know about Little Africa, but we call it LA. Until I was the sweet age of 11, and then we moved to Spartanburg, and I experienced something from my neighbors, and they showed us a gift of gratitude and helped our family out during a trying time. So we're going to fast forward to now. I am the wife of the retired Marine, Ray Anthony Whitner. Um, I am so glad to say that I am his wife. He served for over 10 years in the Marine Corps. So once a Marine, always a Marine. And through his unyielding support, y'all, this is why I'm here now. He believes and support me. I am also the mother of two beautiful daughters who are both millennials. Go figure. I am a philanthropist, entrepreneur, and incubator for entrepreneurship, a friend, a roller skater, and I truly want to promote equality for all people. As a longtime resident of Spartanburg, as Terrence has said, I have seen both the changes and the economic development throughout the city and the county. And as a Spartanburg native who has lived here my entire life, I understand the needs of the people of District 6. I firmly believe if you build the people, you can grow the community. Spartanburg deserves representatives who truly listen to those in their district and stand for the issues and concerns of their constituents. I'm already experienced in making Spartanburg better for the past 5 years. I work for the Northside Development Group, and Terrence has shared, I am the supportive services manager, helping families, providing them with financial literacy, home ownership, access to employment, to the 1,800 plus families now. And I'm also an adjacent professor for Spartanburg Community College. And prior to that, believe it or not, I was a case manager for the Spartanburg Housing Authority Youth Field Program and a long-term substitute teacher at the Spartanburg Alternative School. I currently serve as a Spartanburg Planning Commissioner. I was appointed July 2020. There was a board of my peers from City Council that selected me to be on the Planning Commission. Planning commissioners have to understand the importance of zoning and development. That's one of my skills that I know I can carry over and transfer into this county council seat. Zoning is a categorization of property within a jurisdiction at a local government level, which determine what kind of activity or use may operate at the particular piece of property or site in layman's terms. So if I want $1 million, Chris or Terrence, I can't just tear my house down and build a Chick-fil-A right here. I just can't do it. So it is zoned for residential. If you ever listen in on the planning commission and meetings, you may hear Martin Livingston say PDD, which means planned development districts. So there are different types of zoning districts. There are performance, there are form-based, and so many others. And then there are also residential codes, R6, R8, R12. And being on the planning commission helps me know those things so that when Spartanburg County District 6 does start developing, I'll be prepared and fluid in those areas. I also serve on the Spartanburg YMCA Advisory Board and on their subcommittee for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I'm also the board chair for the Forester Center. I was appointed by Spartanburg County Council back in 2015. I'm on the advisory board for One Spartanburg and USC Upstate Dean Advisory Board since 2017. That's just a little about me.
Well, yeah, that's a little. That's just a little. Then okay. No, that's great, and you have such a tie-in. It seems with the community. You have a tie-in through many facets. You mentioned all the things that you do that you have a say in, or you have a supreme interest in, and that you're vested in. And my question would be, you talked about District 6 and some needs there, some things there, and you would be understanding some things they need based on some things that you've done already that you can kind of bring to the table. So I guess my question is, what are some of the needs of the municipality, so like the local government within the district, that you would serve?
Okay, thank you for asking that. So some of the needs that I'm aware of, Siege, is access to transportation. That is such a heavy topic. We have been discussing at the city level and the county level about making transportation, public transportation, available to everyone. Also, the growth, the population. We have to be mindful that we can't just control traffic, but we also need to be concerned about how many people are moving to this area. That deals with the infrastructure and the wear and tear of infrastructure. How can we make sure that there are no traffic jams or no incidents or accidents? So I have several ideas. And again, these are just great aspirations. I can't make any promises, but what I can do is present it to my peers and colleagues on county council. And hopefully we can come to some type of agreement to make these things happen. Maybe have reversible lanes to improve the flow of traffic during peak times. Maybe do some connections of roads into communities to decrease traffic jams, and relieve frustration as people feel they have to navigate to get home in a certain area. Have effective public transportation. So maybe we have a plan where we grow the Spartan public transportation system in the district, and then making sure that we have the staff, the resources, the school knows, EMS knows, the fire departments know that there are people coming and that they're ready to take care of those homes. You know, if you dial 911 and there's a fire at your home, we want to make sure that they're aware that you even live there, right? So we don't want to do a bunch of developing and they don't have the capacity to come out and serve those communities. And then we want to talk about income-based or income-restricted housing. Again, another heavy topic. While I'm on the planning commission, and if you ever heard me ask any of the developers, is there a component for affordable housing? Is there a component to make sure that anybody can live in their housing? And so we want to make sure that income restricted housing is made available. And what does that mean? Income restricted housing. It means like apartments or houses that are eligible for reduced or subsidized low income renters. They're considered income restricted apartments or housing. These apartments or housing have a cap on the amount of income that person can make. With that being said, you know, we want to make sure that that is available for everyone. And how do people qualify? It is based on up to 80% of the median area income. So it depends on where you're at here in the city of Spartanburg and how many people live in a household that determines what that number looks like for you. So I can give you numbers, but unless it's a real scenario, it wouldn't be accurate.
No,
so those are some of the things.
No, that's great, and that's I'm sure that the everyone driving down through District 6 and through our main roads down that way would definitely appreciate you know, accessibility and some kind of strategies, you know, especially during those hot hours of the day. No, and you talk about the zoning earlier. You talked about kind of, you know, the redevelopments and those sorts of things, and it seems that it may give you know, our community opportunities to be in different areas that they may not have been in before. There are a lot of food deserts in one side of town versus the other side of town. Maybe that alleviates some of those issues there when we start, you know, having more accessible opportunities in different areas of our city. So no, that makes sense to me.
This is very insightful. I hope if you live in the county District 6 area of Spartanburg that you are tuning in, you are taking notes, because we're talking about tomorrow. You can go vote on March the 1st. You can go vote at the tax office across the street from Krispy Kreme. You can go vote and make sure your voice is heard and your voice is counted, and you make an educated voting decision starting tomorrow.
And listen, guys, this has been amazing so far. We again want to have a few more questions for you, Ms. Whitner. We know you have a lot of things to do. Again, we did not want to hold everyone long. We need y'all to keep sharing, keep being a part. You talked about redevelopment, real estate. I'll tell you right now, this is a seller's market. There's even a higher demand for housing right now. So we need strategy in place as we develop, and we need some houses. And if you don't believe me, just watch this commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, our property group, you just seen them, just seen the commercial. If you are in the business or in need of housing, make sure you reach out to Oak and Al Property Group. They have some real great, knowledgeable realtors and people on staff that can help make your dream of owning a home a reality.
That's right.
And
Let's keep
so,
going. I'm having a good time, Lekesa. You having a good time?
I am. I don't know if I mentioned access to healthcare in those municipalities.
okay,
I really want us to look at them possibly becoming a purpose-built community if possible. Of course, the North Side is a purpose-built community where we look at individuals from cradle to career. And so this gives you a scope of everything a person needs to be as anyone else, right? To live wherever they are, right? And do well. They have access to healthcare. They have access to dental. They have sidewalks. They have access to education. They have access to recreation. And so I would love for us to adopt or look at possibly a master plan or strategic plan for our outlining areas, those municipalities that may be struggling, right? And bring people to the table. Look at it from the lens of the people that live there, right? Have meetings and hear from the people and see what they want, just like Holland did, and find out what they want first and build around the wants of the people. Do it with them and not to them.
definitely. Thank you for that. Let's move on to the third question. You maybe kind of went into some things during question number two, but I know for everyone listening, all the voters in Spartanburg County District 6, they want to know what are your top three priorities if elected.
Yeah. So my top three, again, aspirations, and people always say, Lekesa, what is it that you really want to see happen? The first thing is kind of twofold with infrastructure. The second one, of course, is education. And the third one is pay equality. Okay, so why is infrastructure a twofold? So when I hear the word infrastructure, I think of growth, I think of development, I think of building, right? But I also think of the people that are going to do that work. So I believe that infrastructure is not just houses, it's not just commercial real estate. It deals with the sewer, the land, the landscaping, and everything that goes into infrastructure. But I also think about the people that are going to do that work. And so we created the NCCER construction pipeline project on the north side that is now done so well that it has expanded throughout the city of Spartanburg and hopefully soon into the county. No, actually it is actually in Gaffney and Union. And what that does is it takes people that are local people that are interested in going into the construction field, and then they hire those individuals to do the work right next door at their home. There was a gentleman that lived in Victoria Gardens that helped rebuild the Dr. T.K. Gregg Center on the north side. And so taking that idea to create a workforce of people trained to go into this labor force, right? And they have a skill, a specialty area where they can help build the place that they live, which creates a sense of pride. And of course, it also creates the ability to learn that trade, which leads me into education. So what I would love to see happen is that same model block be used. We create scholarship funds for individuals to go to school for a specific trade, or we find out from our local institutions. Listen, we are in a college town. We have 7 institutions of higher learning. There should be funding made available. If we see the need, we should complete the need by making sure we have access to scholarship funds to say, hey, we know that this is coming in District 6. We know that we're getting ready to redevelop District 6 and build infrastructure. Let's see who in this district may be interested in being an employee here. And then reach out to these developers and say, okay, I have a resource list of talent right here in Spartanburg County District 6 that want to help build here with you. And hopefully, those partners and developers will take the chance, give those individuals the opportunity to come and be an employee. And then that leads to my third thing, finally, which is pay equality. Then they get paid what they're worth, right? Because they've gotten a trade, they've gotten a certificate through one of our local institutions of higher learning, and now they've got a job right here, close in proximity to their home. So we want to be able to live, work, and play in the same place. We want to be able to enjoy life and have a high quality of life. And I believe this is a formula that we can look at really closely that can be transferred through all of Spartanburg County. I think it's a great time to be in Spartanburg County. And then with that being said, we have college students that are in school right now who we want to keep here, right? So we also offer that same opportunity to them so we can retain that talent here in Spartanburg and we don't lose the investment. We want them to want to stay.
Oh, great
Definitely.
answer for that. No, that is very on point, very poignant, and some very good points that you hit there. And as far as keeping that retention, this is a good time to be in Spartanburg County. There are a lot of things that are happening. There are a lot of resources. There are a lot of things that we can tap into. And with that said, the world is dealing with this thing called COVID-19. I happen to hear about, and in dealing with that, it has truly ravaged, this entire country, and that affected not only small businesses, but these are people's households that affected. I mean, schools, students. Mentally, it just goes on and on and on, the lingering impact, and I'm positive we haven't seen what that full impact will be. But with that said, what are some specific things county council can do or continue to do to assist with economic recovery in Spartanburg due to that COVID-19, so that we can stay on the upside, so what can we do?
Yeah, thank you for that, Chris. Terrence shared earlier with some of the questions that you all are posting, the language inclusive component. That's one of the things that county council, I think, can do is make sure we're very intentional and including language inclusion with our residents, with our constituents, and the people that live in our neighborhood. They need to know and they need to get that information just like anyone else would. Secondly, I would say deploy federal relief funds, the CARES Act, Family First Act, Treasury Department tools. The next thing would be track additional federal stimulus legislation. Next, maximize non-lending federal aid as applicable to businesses. Advocate on behalf of businesses at the local, state, and federal levels to fill potential funding gaps, monitoring the changing regulatory environment and designs programs to enhance business recovery. We can follow national and state guidance related to the need of social mitigation testing and contact and trace to the maximize new spread and reoccurrences. So we can avoid having this happen again. Like we need to take note of what happened and how we can prevent those things from happening again. We need to also map equipment and physical improvement requirement for businesses to be CDC, PA, the Department of Health and guidelines for social mitigation. We need to develop a dynamic plan to train and connect workers to job opportunities. We need to protect less advantaged communities and businesses. We need to develop a specific cluster, targeted strategies for businesses less than 20 employees by each industry. We need to understand the anchored institutions and its employees and how their impacts are oversized drivers. And then we need to conduct a robust business outreach program. And last but not least, promote that we buy local. We need to have a campaign that says we need to buy local to help keep those businesses in business, right? And form an initiative to make sure we support them and buy local. I mean, even buy t-shirts. Just, you know, if they're selling t-shirts, buy their t-shirts, but make sure we promote buy local.
Well, I am a local entrepreneur and I support that to the utmost. No, but that's it. We have to keep our money circulating right here in our own community. That's vital. I like hearing strategy. I like hearing specifics. That's good. You know, everything, man, we're thriving locally. That's what makes this community what it is. That's what makes it a hub city. You know, is these local businesses, these local entrepreneurs, these local minds. Man, I'm no, thank you for your responses. Thank you for being very intentional with those responses. We only have one more question. We have a set of quick fire questions. Again, it's all about local. There's a new local business right now that is up and coming, that's been doing phenomenal things in the community. And I'd like to tell you who they are. We'll be right back. Alls installs, refrigerators, stoves, any appliances, your workout mirrors, your TVs, your entertainment systems, anything like that that you guys need in your community. You need someone in your home, and you need to know that they are full of character, integrity, and they do everything the right way all the time. That's Alls Installs. Please visit them, and you can find them on BlackSpartanburg.com, the new, which is BLKSpartanburg.com.
Awesome. Buy local. Okay, let's continue going. Again, all the residents of Spartanburg County District 6, make sure you are taking notes, because you need to become an educated voter. You need to vote and make the best decision starting tomorrow at our local tax office. Again, right across the street from Krispy Kreme.
That's it.
Right across, vote and get a donut, or get a donut and then vote. Either way.
Listen, let's get the donut afterwards. Or reward yourself afterwards by going to get a donut afterwards. And if you can't find Krispy Kreme, you know what the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium is, or either Wofford College. I'm gonna give you some major landmarks so you can get there.
That's right. Well, let's keep going. This is a really, really important question to me, and I'd love to hear your insight about it. Question number 5. What are you?
Before I quick fire.
What are your thoughts about inequities and disparities in communities of color and marginalized communities? And how will you work with county council to increase equity?
Well, thank you for asking that question, Terrence. So you see this book? This is the Spartanburg Racial Equity Index. And I have tabs, I have highlights, I have notes throughout this book. So the work has already been done. So I want to give a special thanks. And I'm reading this from the inside of this book, okay? Special thanks to the SCIP Partnership for investing in the project, and to be here very helpful and generous with the data friends, especially Karen, I cannot pronounce her last name, with Spartanburg Regional Health Care, Kara Davis, the Metropolitan Study Institute at USC Upstate, Beth Thompson, Spartanburg Academic Movement, and Natalia Rosario, the City of Spartanburg. But I also would like to give a very special thanks to Mary Thomas, the Chief Operating Officer of the Spartanburg County Foundation, and Molly Tauber Metz, and please forgive me if I said that wrong, Molly, is the President and CEO for the Mary Black Foundation, for this continued work on the index. Now, the reason I say that is they were not really hired to take this on. This was a study. And so this study revealed a lot about disparities. So I'm going to read to you all what it says. It says the following study is a comprehensive analysis of demographic and well-being data that reflect community conditions related to racial equity in Spartanburg County, commissioned by the Spartanburg Community Indicators Project, SCIP. The original intent of the study was a review of health equity data. Okay, so the reason it was done was for health equity data. However, it became immediately apparent that the issues of health equity are actually driven by issue of racial equity. Therefore, the project was broadened and reconceived as a review of the data that drive and or reflect of racial equity generally. The data gathered here will serve to help promote greater awareness and understanding of the depth and the breadth of differences between the white and Black experience in Spartanburg County. The findings are intended to spark important conversations and to inform the work of many individuals, project partners, and organizations in Spartanburg County. This data taken together can inform the design of programs and policies that will improve community conditions and people's lives. So a lot of this helps to drive me, like pay. Are people being paid equal pay? Housing, employment. If you don't have access to the Spartanburg racial index for 2018, you need to go ahead and get this. It really takes a deeper dive and look at those disparities that are driven actually by racial equity. And also where you live, right? You can live in a zip code and drive not even 30 minutes to another zip code, and the life expectancy might be 10 to 15 years longer than where you reside at. And so finding this data and knowing that people are actually taking a look at this information and doing something about it. The late Honorable Johnny Cole, she said, let's let our rhetoric become reality. And so this data shows that there are a lot of concerns when it comes to racial equity. And we want to make sure, now that we have this Bible, and that's what I'm going to call it, or this toolkit, whatever you want to call it, let's make sure that we're reading it and seeing how we can be the difference, how we can make a change. And this don't be the narrative over the next 5 years. If there's a concern about affordable housing, again, I've given some ideas about affordable housing. Let's work on that issue. Let's make sure we have something in writing. This is actually the 2020-2024 adopted capital improvement plan by the county council. I have read through this, and they have a lot of ideas to help combat some of these issues. You know, I hear about concerns about roads and highways. There is a plan that they're going to address those issues. It takes time, but we don't try to make promises we can't commit to. We just have to go and do it at a steady pace. Again, if we rush and we make a mistake, then it can cause other errors. But back to race, again, if you have not read the Spartanburg Racial Equity Index for 2018, I ask and I implore each of you to get that information. And then we use it as a tool to be a catalyst to bring about change in the county of Spartanburg.
Understood. So your thing is to take the data. You take the data, and you address the need from there, and with some comprehensive planning and some strategies in place. No, great conversation. I mean, this has been phenomenal. We're just gonna end it right now, guys, with just a couple of quick fire questions that we like to do. I think this would be great. Just a couple. We're gonna take it easy, okay? We don't have we're getting your business too. We like but we're just gonna do just a couple quick ones here. Then we're just gonna have say our goodbyes, guys. You guys have been awesome. This has been great. I'll get it started. Yes. All right. Again, this is Miss Lekesa Whitner, running for District 6 County Council. Early voting starts tomorrow, right across the street from Chris, or the first, right across the street. That's tomorrow. From Chris Green. So you guys make sure you are available. Make sure you do that. We're gonna pop up the address before we leave, so you got to stay with us to see that. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Easy. This is easy. What keeps you motivated? Go. You only have 10 seconds. What keeps you motivated?
People.
People.
That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. Okay. For the second and last quick fire, if you had one last message to lead to the world, what would it be?
If you build the people, you can grow the community.
I love it. You build the people, you can grow the
community.
This is Lekesa Whitner. We will see you guys. Hope y'all ready. Registration and elections It's the physical address. All right.
Show up. Show up. If you live in Spartanburg County District 6, make sure you make your vote count. Show up in numbers.
Whatever your vote's going, whatever you're going to do, just make it count. Make it loud and make your statement. This is your opportunity. You know, I'm Chris C. Jefferson.
And I'm Terrence Hawes. And thank you all for tuning in to this special conversation with Lekesa Whitner, the Democratic candidate for Spartanburg County Council District 6. Again, if you live in Spartanburg County District 6, go vote. Early voting starts tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Lekesa Whitner, for joining us this evening. And we hope voters was inspired and encouraged to make the vote count.
That's right. Mr. Richard Williams says, vote, vote, vote. Y'all vote. Y'all have a great week and have it on purpose. Thank you, guys. We are Elephant Group.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
Bye.